Paper straws, reduced plastic bags. We remember these things were being talked about and actually being implemented in many places around the world. But nowadays, it seems like no one is talking about the environment anymore, and the environmental awareness just appears to be faded out of the public majority. Now, this might just be some personal bias, but why does it appear this way? From my observation around the media, here are a couple key reasons. Before we get into the effectiveness of people's actions, we have to know about some of the basics about the environment, or to be a little more specific, the climate change. Climate change, in short, refers to the change in climate. Very self-explanatory. According to the United Nations, climate change refers to the long-term shifts in temperature and weather patterns. The phenomenon was first to be referred as to global warming, until people realized that the situation is much more complicated than just global warming. While climate change does occur naturally throughout the natural environment, human actions in recent centuries have significantly accelerated the change. The problem of climate change was observed decades ago, and it was not until the recent years that many public majority finally awakens the environmental awareness, all thanks to the sea turtle. In response, governments and companies actually proceeded to make some actions. In Canada, certain single-use plastics are prohibited in order to reduce plastic pollutions. Items such as a single-use checkout bag, plastic utensils, and of course, the plastic straws. While there are many details and suspicions in regard to the regulations, for the sake of time being, let's just take the regulations from face value for now, and assume that there is no single-use plastic checkout bags and etc. that are used in all Canadian stores. So what is the outcome of the single-use plastic regulations? I have no idea. The plastic prohibition regulations came in effect in the mid-June of 2022, and it has been out for about 4 years since. Coming off from the experience of an average Canadian life, I can confidently say that I do not feel the changes from these single-use plastic bans. Theoretically, this regulation should have reduced some amount of plastic waste, but I can't find practical data to back this statement. The serious problems arises on the fact that a regular person would feel like their effort on plastic waste reduction don't actually contribute to solving the problems, and will begin to lose interest in taking actions on reducing plastic waste or even climate change as a whole. Think about it like this. A person put out a lot of work and effort in order to achieve something, yet the person can't even see the progress of their hard work. Under this circumstance, why would the person continue to put in their work when there is not even a single sign of progress? Not to mention the fact that the effect of climate change has yet to create a strong impact for many who lives in the large cities, and therefore wouldn't put much attention to climate change simply because they're not really experiencing the problem yet. Of course, this mindset doesn't apply to everyone, and I believe that many people are still putting a lot of effort to reduce their plastic use in their daily life as much as possible. But I think that this is a highly probable problem that is worth mentioning in terms of why individuals may be less interested in taking actions for the environment, especially when we live in such a fast-paced society. We demand results as soon as possible, yet environmental problems like plastic waste and climate change can't really be resolved in a short period of time. These are issues that take decades to solve. Because climate change is a long-term phenomenon, and any mitigation effort that we do will take some time to become effective. Any actions done may be presented by the media, but not much of a result can be presented due to the long-term nature of the climate change actions. Therefore, the reality turns out to be that there aren't just enough news for the media to report constantly, whether that's traditional media or that's individual content creators. The traditional mainstream media is still one of the strongest forms of media to get information. And when mainstream media are losing interest in environmental news, whether passively or actively, it will affect the public interest. This problem can't be blamed on the media, however, because of how much more significant problems there are across the world right now that the public majority would prioritize more, which is the fact that the economy around the world is terrible right now. There are so many problems. Let's name a couple just from the top of my head. Inflation's jacking up the prices of everything. People are getting laid off from left and right. The war that is going on in the Middle East and everywhere else, and all sorts of international conflicts. Any one of these problems needs to be resolved as soon as possible. And while we all know that we need to take climate actions immediately as well, these other problems possesses a much greater immediate threat to the people than climate change, as they are experiencing them at the moment. Just think of it like this. No one is going to care about the environment if they're having trouble to put food on the table. It is just how it is, and there is no way around it. The environment will be the least of their worries when people are straight up suffering from surviving. It is safe to say that each of these current problems are on the same level as climate change for the people who are affected by them. Of course, the wealthier people may be less affected. I once heard the saying that only the wealthier individuals will care about the environmental problems, and I don't think that can be proven better than the modern society. I'm pretty sure that there are a lot of less wealthier people who still care about the environment and are making a lot of changes to their basic lifestyle in order to reduce, say, waste or the use of plastic as much as possible in their daily lives. But I just want to say how much more impactful it would be for the people who have the power to make a change to actually make the change. So in conclusion, what can we really do to solve any of these problems? Honestly, none. I am becoming pessimistic about the world's actions towards climate change from everything that has happened so far. It has been said for decades now that we humans needs to start taking actions about climate change. And look at the circumstances now. The progress isn't catching up to the destructions at all. And that has been going on for years and decades. And hence why I would say that this is the unfortunate circumstances of the current environmental problems. Actions are being taken, but just like always, it is not enough. Everything I talked about in this video only touched on the very surface of the topic, and I certainly want to talk about it a lot more, but for now, thanks for watching. Peace.